Prologue. Right after Issei used the Juggernaut drive, he passed out due to loss of power and life force. The Gremory family took him back home. While people like Asia, Azazel, Irina, and the rest from before his reincarnation were worried, Kaneko felt nothing. Akino was heard about worrying for Issei, but also not caring, and Kiba was unlike the others, worried for his brother. As for Rias, she was full of rage but tried to hide it because her Red Dragon Emperor is now useless, while deep in her heart some of her loved him, but she was so full of hate and greed, but she felt torn. Will he be okay? Asia asked, worried for the man who gave her a family and a life, not just one but a second, a true life, to be okay. Azazel then stood up from his seat and looked at Asia. He will be fine. I hope the Juggernaut drive is unknown to, because most don't survive it, so if you need me I will talk to Trihexa, he said before leaving, but stopped and said one last thing. Also Gremory, she then jumped due to her not listening or caring. People think Issei was connected to Raynare, and I want you to know he might be hurt inside. He said, knowing Off Eyes told him something was in Issei, so he guessed it was Raynare and wanting to see Ria's reaction. She then let out a leak of POD, but then hid it, but not fast enough. Understood. Azazel, make sure he is well, she said in a fake face. She said that he left to talk to Trihexa, as Rias then shifted to the sculpture Issei made of her, and she destroyed it to relieve anger, but then fixed it with magic. However, there were small cracks only Issei would know of. Pav Issei's mind. Unlike the past host of the gear, Issei is still alive, and now he is walking through the gear and his mind as he is lost within it. Hello, anyone here? How do I wake up? Said the confused dragon and pawn as he only saw white. Say the chant to rival it, a mysterious voice said to the shock of Issei. It did not sound like Trihexa. Who are you and what chant? Issei said, now annoyed because he is here due to a chant, as he then saw a starlight-type void in front of him he couldn't reach. We met before, Red Dragon, now say it and the dream will let you know what your reality really is, said the voice, letting out power and going near the void as Issei them knew who is was in shock. Pav in Issei's room with Trihexa and Azazel. So I want to ask you a few questions, and I don't mean Issei, I mean you, Welsh dragon, Azazel spoke in a serious and concerned voice. As then the arm of Issei starts to react as we hear a voice. Governor General, what is it that you want? Spoke the wise and powerful dragon. I want to know why Issei was like this. All I know is Rias has something to do with it by her reaction, Azazel said as Trihexa went quite not wanting to make his partner feel pain, but he understood what he was being asked. I do not know what caused it exactly, but he is not responding to our link. Someone strong is blocking it. However, he has been thinking of that fallen for the past few months now, and that was not helping his rage or his old fear which awakened the drive when the nun was gone. Trihexa spoke with Azazel being shocked. Issei had a great fear that caused the drive to awaken, but he had a hunch what it was. He was a man to after all. However, Issei then started glowing red as a barrier was put up blocking the others. Suddenly, Issei's right arm was glowing with negative emotional and dragon power entering it until he had a second gear that then spoke. Sorry Trihexa, I guess we are sharing this host after all that wronged him, so his rage and my power will make them feel fear. The voice spoke as both Azazel and Trihexa were in shock. They knew who the voice belonged to and they felt fear. GRAT Red Great Red SIR. They both yelled lucky for the barrier no one hear them, but then got to calm down after a few minutes. Great Red spoke. Yes, it's me now. Excuse me, Governor General, please open the right hand. And Trihexa, I need your help right now. This is an idea everyone does, but I am twisting it a bit, you'll understand. As Azazel moved and opened the hand, he nearly let his rage out for who caused Issei to do this, because in the new gear was 8 pawn pieces, most of them cracked and only a few being red while the rest were black. Issei asked Red to remove the truth of a dragon. This will be a flashback of when Issei was in the gear's void, and then it will take us to present day, so I hope you enjoy and share all of this, and also soon there will be a surprise for this betrayal rebirth more for Issei's growth. In the gear before the unknown gear awoke, Issei was standing in the void thinking what to say to the unknown voice, as all he could think of was one thing: will you die for me? What is your decision, Hyoudou? Will you make the chant for me to give you my aid? Said the unknown voice as Issei felt no rage, but then a feminine voice started to speak in the gear's space. Why help? He's just the red bitch's tool. The voice said THSD made Issei go cold as the voice walked forward near the space and he saw it was Raynare. Yuma was all Issei could say as he saw the girl he loved, his first girlfriend, the person that killed him and lied to him. Young Issei, listen, the Fallen is right, you have been used since the beginning. That caught Issei off guard. What do you mean this is a joke, and Yuma, how are you alive in the gear? He said, pointing to the Fallen. First, when I died, I know you put one of my feathers in the gear, but my soul was in it, so I am with you always. But as for why? She then looked down, which Issei knew she only did before he died as he heard the words I'm sorry from Raynare. Issei knew when they were together she never apologized, but when she did she was honest or scared and could now sense her negative aura, but she was only honest. Okay, I will make a chant on one condition. Which caught the two off, but they listened. First, I think I know what happened to me now that I think back about the past, however I need to know more. Second, I want to be a dragon and without any pawn pieces. And finally, he then turned to Yuma. I want my new gear to be black like you, Raynare, and if you can bring her back if Rias did do what she did. He said, releasing some malice and anger due to him remembering he met Rias' family the day he went on his date with Raynare. The voice and Raynare both were shocked, but Raynare was shocked that he wanted her back and the Vias was interested. Then Issei started the chant. I am who shall be free. From the cursed destruction of my past to be casted away. I stand by name my domination within my rage. By my fallen life of the pasted supremacy, and the infinite will be haunted by my name as crimson bloodshed of the devil who wronged me will know pain of her mistake. Creeping Crimson Nightmare. Twin Dragon Fallen Release. Note, I am using Creeping not Haunting Crimson Nightmare because I like them both, but they all called Issei a creep, a fool, a perv, but they forgot about his pain, thus I think Creeping to make them know the creep became a Creeping Reaper to kill them. As Issei spoke the chant, a gate of inter. Dimensional power broke and what Issei saw shocked him and made Raynare fall to her knees. It was Great Red and a pocket dimension to Issei's right arm. Great Red, what are you doing here? He said, shocked, but also he looked calm. I'm here to give you my knowledge and power, and your pure soul deserves life, thus I will make you a dragon, but at the cost you will know about what happened to you as me and Trihexa fix you. Great Red spoke heavy tone as he then looked at Raynare. As for you, as Issei sleeps and gains knowledge, I will tell Azalel about you so you don't die, however Issei will make you a dragon in the future. She only nods. Back in present time with everyone outside the gear. Azazel grabs the 8 pawns pieces with tears running down his face as he thinks Issei has died, but then Trihexa concerts him. Azal, my partner is strong, he won't die, and besides if he did I would be gone already. He said a little snippy but was true about what he said as a black and red glow started to form next to Issei's right arm, as then a feather flew out of the booted gear to next to Issei and became Raynare, but she looked different. Her hair was the same, but her eyes were violet and emerald, and she was wearing her fallen outfit, but it was difficult. It had short sleeves now and black and red leather pants with silver and black gloves and the gift Issei gave her on her right arm. However, the barrier was still up, but everyone felt the large amount of power being formed. It felt like mid-class devil to near high class, which made Rias run to Issei, but she noticed a barrier, and it made her hand have burns, while for Azalel he was about to attack her. But then someone spoke with an even stronger aura that he was sealing. Sensei, don't please. As Azalel looked, it was Issei, who grabbed his spear like nothing. However, he had tears in his eyes and his looks changed. Issei now has 1 emerald eye and 1 black and red, while his strength and speed grew along with some magic. Azalel saw veins on Issei's should pulse and go black before going normal. Also, his hair has a shade of red but is mostly black now, and he let out a dragon's aura, but it was a classing power due to his emotions. His rage and sorrow his making him a evil dragon, while Drake made him a Welsh dragon, and Red is trying to, and still is making him a dragon of his own being and emotion, that of God. So Welsh evil and God dragon, I say why not go for the dragon of soul's resolution? Partner, you're awake, Drake said in shock but joy for his partner which matter. Issei's smile. Yeah pal, I am okay. Also Sensei PLZ, let look at this. He threw a red and black orb of power at Azazel which he caught. What is this? He asked confused. Then Raynare spoke for the first time, being back. It will show you his memories of how he was reincarnated and lied to so PLZ just put it by your head then give it back, it will give you all the memories at once. She spoke calmly, which made Issei smile seeing her happy, and he snapped his fingers getting rid of the barrier and walking up to Raynare kissing her as Rias and the others saw it. Issei was all Rias could say as she saw him kissing Raynare, and even worse, she was somehow alive and they both looked different. Then he broke the kiss to look at Rias with rage, which made her flinch. "Hello Gremory, what do you want of all people?" Issei said coldly, which shocked her and everyone present. "I was just checking on you," was all she could say to make it sound like she cared, but Issei spoke up. "You mean check up on your weapon, your toy, the red dragon, the thing you let die so you could be a hero so I could beat Riser?" Issei said, which pissed Rias off, but then Akino spoke. "Issei, I am sorry, I told her not to, but she wanted to have you as her pawn, I am sorry." Then Kiba spoke up along with Kaneko. "Issei, brother, I'm sorry, I was supposed to obey her orders, if I didn't I would go against my master, I am sorry." Issei, I did what she said because she became my master after Kuroka left me, I had no choice but to listen. I'm so sorry. The two spoke as the three starts crying, which angered Rias as she then was about to let out her POD, but then Issei grabbed his pieces and punched Rias to everyone's shock. "Enough Grmory, you fooled me and used them, but you could HAVR save Asia or train Gasper, and not toy with us, you fool. Well, GUES, what Sirzechs will be hearing this after all catch." As he threw his pieces at Rias, which made all shocked and Rias scared as he said one thing. "I'm out of your team and I will take some of your members when I become king, farewell, and everyone but Red Bitch, I am sorry, goodbye." Issei said as he opened a portal to hell with Raynare following him, and when Rias was about to get up after him, Azalel stopped her with his rage and by stepping the way of the portal before it closed. Asia cried, Gasper felt sad, Kiba felt like he let Issei down had he punched the ground on one knee, Zenobia, Kaneko and Rosviasa were quite no rook for Rias, not letting Rosviasa be her rook. Akino cried and cursed herself, and Irina felt sorrow and anger at Rias to the point some of her white feathers went black. "Azazel, what are you doing? He is mine, get out of the way," she said in rage. "He is only your because he died due to your actions." A chance meeting in hell. Here we take place in the Gremory domain where Issei wanted his rift to take him and Raynare. Not think of a name for his gate spell. How does illusion's rift sound or evaporation mirror? "So, Issei-san, what do we do?" No, Raynare asked, looking happy that he was no longer being watched by Rias and Kakable can not longer hurt her anymore, so she can live him at last, she thought with a smile that she couldn't hide. However, Issei looked sad, but he knew Raynare wanted to cheer him up. "Well, how about we go visit Sirzechs about his sister and give him the orb as well, and then we go on a date, Raynare-chan," he said with a smirk showing he will trying to be happy. "You know, if you want you can still call me Yuma, think of it as a nickname," she said as she ledded close to him, but Issei dodged as he coughed up blood. Raynare fell, but she noticed the blood and was scared. "I'm fine, Raynare-chan, seems like getting rid of those pieces hurt more than I thought, huh?" "Yo, Dryag Red," he said as both gears appeared. "What should I name Thia gear?" "What is partner?" both asked as they knew of him losing some blood. "How many years do I have left after the drive and losing my pieces?" he asked as dragons in worry. "Fear not, partner, you are only coughing blood due to the pieces being gone, but it will fade soon," spoke the voice of Dryag. "Indeed, you gained all your life back and more. I say you will live about 10,000 if you lose your life again, but if you don't it will be about 14,000 to 20,000 years. The voice of Great Red spoke, which living that long after what he did was incredible. He was shocked, same with Raynare as she got back up from the ground. "Uok, so you will live that long, God, that is incredible." As she said that, Issei grabbed his head in fear, but nothing happened. "Partner, you aren't a devil anymore," Dryag said as he now remembers his partner's stupidity at times, which can be humorous to the dragon. "Oh right, I'm not a devil anymore, haha." Then Issei stood up laughing to the confusion to Raynare, Dryag and Red. God, I can say it all I want and I will no longer have any pain, haha." He spoke with joy that he never thought he'd have. "Issei, may I ask for you to PLZ stop?" Raynare asked as Issei was confused, but then turned and saw all devils had major headaches and he got carried away. "Sure, Ray-chan, shall we go?" With him saying that made Raynare blush, but she walked alongside him nevertheless. Meanwhile in the Hyoudou house. Rias was sitting on the couch with Akino, Kiba, and Kaneko, while Asia was crying in the corner with Irins and Zenobia trying to comfort her. But Gasper was standing with Rosviasa and Azazel, who all three were pissed surprisingly. Due to Gasper's nature, Rias never thought he would be pissed. How long Rias was all Azazel said, wanting to know when she knew about the fallen. And she was getting pissed, but since Issei was gone and couldn't make her stronger, she only accepted fate but will try to fight her family since least. Since the fallen entered my territory and since I first saw Issei and he saw me, I knew he had a gear, and letting Raynare kill him was the only option I had. She spoke, not feeling sorrow about anything but making Asia cry, but then Azazel turned to the other three. Did you want to help her with that event? He said, releasing some of his power with his words as anger was on his voice. Not at all, we may have agreed, but it was THTA or being a stray. I'm Afriad, so we had no choice. They all said as Azazel sensed them he was a fallen, and he knew if someone who lie about something so important SND, they all only felt one thing, sorrow. Asia then stood up with rage and walks over to Rias and slaps her in the face to everyone's shock. You don't know anything, do you? Rias, he almost died because of MEIT was almost 5 LIGHTSPARSYOU jerk. Asia yells with tears running down her face. How do you know? Kiba asks, confused. He took one when we went out on the town and 3 after I died, but he destroyed the 4th, but any devil would have died, but he didn't because he cared for us, and now look what you did. Rias was getting pissed and was about to stand and let out aura, but she froze in time slowly as Gasper was pissed and did not stand for what she did anymore. Gasper was all she could say as she was frozen in time as Gasper spoke. You could have her saved him, and now because of you my brother is gone. Issei, I will get strong by you and no longer be a coward. If you could have saved him, then you could have helped me or Asia, even Akino, right? He then started to cry. How could you be a master of anyone, you freak? He let out as his voice mixed anger and sorrow as he punched the frozen Rias in the gut and was about to do more. Akino stopped him. Gasper, I know how you feel, but please let Sirzechs and Issei do this, not you. We lost him already. We don't want to lose you or anyone else. She said with tears, hugging him with her wings, and he cried out for his brother to come home, but he knew it wouldn't happen. Backling him. Achoo, damn it, is someone talking about me or something? Issei said with annoyance as Raynare laughed at his action she found adorable. Haha, very funny, Ray-chan, but you know what, how about? Before Issei could finish, he heard something miles away with his dragon ears. Ah, stop it, why should we punk your week? Yeah, you might as well be bald too, your hair mocks the Gremory family, haha, idiot. As Issei heard that, he ran towards the noise, to Raynare's shock by his speed and how it changed. Now with Issei, he is running as fast as he can towards the alley he heard the noise from, and in less than 3 minutes he arrived and saw 2 punks beating up a kid with bright red hair similar to the Gremory family. Hey, you get away from him, he yelled at the punks, and as they turned they went cold as they saw the Red Dragon Emperor, but with a more powerful look. Our Red Dragon Emperor, they both said in fear as they pissed themselves. But before they could say anything else, Issei bolted at them and threw them in the hair and launched them back down, knocking them out. Hey, are you kid? Issei said, calm and concerned, looking at the kid. You're the red dragon, right, Issei Hyoudou? The kid asked. Yeah, THSDS me. PLZ, make me your student. I am the last of my family. I wish to be strong like a true dragon. PLZ, please train me like a dragon would. This is the kid Aka, my partner DDCRMSONDD. Issei was taken aback. He never taught anyone before, but he saw the will and determination in the kid's eyes, and he felt pride and a connection towards for the kid, and he didn't know why. Guys, why do I feel pride for the kid? It's because you are now a dragon and he has pride, resolve, and will that makes him like a youngling dragon, and you feel he is like your son and student. Spoke Trihexa SS. He felt pride in for Issei, and then he hear loud snoring as Red was asleep, so he chose to try SND ignore it. So you want to be my student is right. What's your kid? Issei asked the unknown kid that has his eye for a warrior. Well, my name is Kai Abaddon, my house is. But then Issei cuts him off. Wait, you're one of the destruction houses, right? Issei asked the boy now known as Kai. Well, yeah, but mine physical strength and more power in magic, Mr. Red Dragon Emperor, Kai said as he then stood up. No matter his injures, You can call me Issei. Okay, Kai here. Issei summons his Yuma soul gear to focus and try to heal Kai, which drains some of his magic, but it works. Okay, so Kai, are you in a house? Issei asked, confused. No, I'm supposed to be a king soon, but due to me being a forgotten member of the Destruction family, I don't have them unless beat Gremory team, so you which I can't do. He says, looking down sad, but Issei reassures him, telling everything that happened so he can be his teacher and Kai his student. So ready to go? Issei asked. Sure, but where are we going? Kai asked, confused. First, I will take you to my girlfriend, and we all will talk to Sirzechs and arrange the fight in 1 month. Sound farewell, maybe too. I have a Kyoto trip after all. Issei states, making him student happy. 30 minutes later, back with Raynare. Damn it, where is he? Raynare thought as she was sitting near the Gremory house under a tree as she heard Issei's voice and a second pair of footsteps. She got to look and saw Issei and Kai walking to Gremory house to see Grafia and others when Raynare ran up to Issei and punched him. Ah, Yuma, what was that for? Issei said as he was on his, but will his cheek red and Kai trying not to laugh. Next time you're gone, tell me. She then turns to Kai, so who are you, little guy? I'm not little, I am 14 names Kai Abaddon. Issei is my sensei. That took Raynare back, which she glared at Issei, wanting to know what happened. So he and Kai explained how they met and that Kai is a forgotten Destruction family which he gets picked on for, and he can't get his evil pieces unless he beats the Gremory team. After that, Raynare calmed down. Say, alright, you're alright, Issei, this time. Raynare speaks calmly. Thanks, Raynare. He then smiled, sent her making blush, but then Kai had a question. So why are you called Yuma and Raynare? Well, Raynare my real name, but Yuma I use as my human name, the Fallen said to the confused devil. So Kai, what can you do your power? Issei asked while Great Red and Trihexa woke up and were watching everything. Okay, sure. Kai was building up a red and silver aura. Unlike Rias or Serorg, it wasn't black or gold. Hakaikaenro, destruction flame aura in Japanese. He then let off a large amount of pressure and energy, as fire-based magic and destruction was merged within him, wrapping around his body like a coat. And it grew on his shoulders silver, red, and black spheres of fire and destruction, while his hands had the form of claws and they let off destruction and fire aura. But also his pride and resolve made an unstable energy to form claw-like dagger on his hands and to daggers out them. While his aura formed a solid outfit, his shirt was swapped with aura, and it was a tank top silver and red with spike pad on his shoulders starting to form, but the unstable energy is only in his hands, which his eye then changed to red and gold, and Issei took not that it felt like dragon aura. Trihexa, red, what do you think it feels dragon right? Issei thought as Kai was controlling the power. Yes, Issei, it is. I think he is shunned not just for the forgotten destruction but his blood, Trihexa said as he felt strong dragon energy that was familiar to him. Indeed it is, and I know his mom at like chaos in the aura right, Trihexa. Those words from Red made Trihexa go cold as he only thought of one dragon. No, not her, Issei, be careful. Trihexa spoke in fear of the half-breed's mother. Sensei, what do you think strong right? Kai said, now controlling the power in his body, which made Issei smile as Issei summoned his gears. Indeed it is, but I say, how about a fight? You want to be taught like a dragon, and we fig he strong foes, or when we want so you in. Boost X5. The gear rang as Issei was ready to fight, and so was Kai, but as they both got in a fighting stance that when it started. Kai and Issei ran at each other punch to punch. Issei could keep with ease, but due to Kai's size he is hard to hit, but is strong as well. He thought he was as strong as his old self in balance breaker, boosting over 10 times. Eat this, sensei. Kai then jumped back as Issei kicked, and he spread his arms out. Shadow Daga Supaku Chen, Shao Dagger Spark Chain. As Kai said those words, he ran at Issei and they clashed fists, but the dagger of energy appeared in Kai's hands and he jumped behind Issei as a chain of fire formed, stooping Issei's boost, but it made his arm locked in a shadow, draining him. Damn, my arm's stuck if I don't move. Wait, the only light from it is the fire harming me and stopping the gear, so if I Issei the turns off the gear before Kai could charge in and punch him. And when the impact was done, we see a smoke cloud, and as it disappears, we see Kai on the ground from his punch, but no Issei. Where is he? I had him locked. Kai though pissed that his foe was gone, but then Welsh dragon balance breaker Dragon shot was all he heard before he was knocked out, as we see Issei in his balance breaker knocking him out. With Raynare annoyed but happy that he is smiling again, she just hopes it doesn't destroy another part of town. 2 hours later, Kai wakes up in a bed and is bandaged. What the? But before he could think, he saw Issei at the door. Good, you're awake? He then walks towards him. You know, if I didn't turn off the gear before you hit landed, we both would have been passed out, Issei says, reassuring his student, telling him he is strong and he can be a heavenly dragon if he wants, to Trihexa' annoyance, but it cheered him up and showed that he is still strong. Hey sensei, Kai said, looking at Issei. Yeah, what's up? Is there a way for me to become a dragon? Kai asked, to Issei's sorrow. Well, Kai, you might already be one, because that unstable power in you is dragon, more accurate chaos dragon Tiamat, and your devil power didn't know how to work with just yet because you never knew you were dragon, let alone had this much power, Issei said, cheering Kai up but also leaving his shocked his mom might be Tiamat. Gremory's cursed hatred. Here we are with Issei, Kai, and Raynare in the underworld after yesterday's events, and they all go to see Grafia and Sirzechs about Rias and peace for Raynare. Flashback of the night. I might be half dragon, Kai stated in shock, but with as tears then ran down whose face, which Issei noticed. Now I know why I was treated so wrong by everyone. After all, a hybrid devil is always hunted by his sin of life, Kai said as he then began to sob as his fist let out dragon aura like blue fire similar to his red devil fire. But then Issei put a hand on his shoulder, bringing him into a hug. Listen, Kai, you're not a freak or sin. You are a warrior, true life. After all, you have life of the original destruction and a dragon king, but you also have hope. Issei then smiles as Kai breaks the hug to look at him. After all, Aquino and Gasper aren't pure devils. Gasper is a vampire, and Aquino a fallen hell. Kaneko his Aniko, which she hid due to her sister being a S-class stray, Issei said, comforting the boy, proving not all hybrids are sin, they are hope. Sensei, can I go to Q with you and Raynare after we talk to Sirzechs? Kai said as fire glowed in his eyes and the blue flame turned into gloves to comfort him, with Tiamat's Choa's crest on them, as Kai smiled, knowing part of the truth. Sure thing, after all, I don't listen to Gremory anymore, they better listen me, Issei said with a sadistic smile which made Kai, Trihexa, and Great Red feel cold. Well, get some sleep and we'll have a long day ahead, Kai, he said, giving Kai a thumbs up as he left. Flashback end. Kai was walking by Raynare with a smile as the gloves were on his hands, and Raynare noticed his mood was better than yesterday. Hey Kai, what's up? She asked, happy to see him better. Nothing, Raynare, Onechin, just happy I guess, Kai said, making Raynare hit him on the head, which made Guy yell out, hey, what was that for? Well, sorry, but I couldn't hit you yesterday since you were knocked out, you made a lot of damage, Raynare said with a smile, glad she was viewed as Kai's big sister, as they both ran up to Issei. But we see they are at the front door of Sirzechs' official meeting home, and as they were almost there, Issei stopped with tense fury and he held his and back so Raynare and Kai would stay still. Stay back, you guys, I sense something bad, Issei said, and as he did, a blue sphere of energy hit him head on, which shocked the both and made them go into a battle stance. Well, Hyoudou, surprised you're here, said a man with silver hair, blue eyes, and a black jacket and green shirt with jeans, but on his back were white and blue wings. Vali, I thought after leaving the bitch I would be good. What do you want? Issei said as the smoke cleared and he summoned the boosted gear. The man now known as Vali started to speak. Well, I was going to destroy some of the city, but this will do. After all, me and Albion can sense you anywhere now. Our fight, come on, Vali said as his wing glowed and spoke. Vali, don't, he is different than before, he seems stronger now. You will need full power. His base feels like balance breaker or more, but he is hiding something. Trihexa, what did you do? The vanishing dragon Albion spoke from the gear. Huh, nothing, you foolish white flag. He grew from sorrow and choose one thing, pure hope, from the nightmare he was in, and now he is far stronger than you will ever be, Trihexa says with pride as Issei smirks and just turns to Vali, flipping him off. So white flag, where's the cat? You're not worth fighting, and I am here on business with her and Sirzechs. Issei says as Vali gets pissed and a black shadow goes behind Issei and attacks, but Kai stops it as we see it was Kuroka using a shadow, and as soon as Kai saw Kuroka, he backs up with his face going red to Kuroka's amusement. Meow, I want to know this, hold up dragons, and you too cutie, she s's to Kai, making him stutter and go in his HAKAIKAENORO form off and on with a red face, and he realized one thing. His dragon eye right eye gives him better sight, and he saw Kuroka's upper pillows. Sorry my fellow dragon, I have to do this lol. Vali entered his balance breaker as soon as Kuroka was done talking, fueled with rage. Sorry Kuroda, but this is my fight and Hyoudou will die today, Vali yelled as he let out his power. Whatever you say, forgotten mistake of Lucifer, after all you're no rival unless you prove it, Issei said, making everyone shocked by his words as his dragon pride let out his will to fight. As Vali rushes at Issei ready to fight, Issei takes it head on, not using the balance breaker and only using the boosted gear if need be. Vali and Issei clash in the city and sky while Vali and Issei lands even blows at each other. Issei still doesn't use his balance breaker or boost. Divide. Rang out as ISSCU felt DRAINED and he boosted a few times to keep up, even rushing ATVALI with power in his right arm. What are you doing, HYOUDOU? Fight me as an equal, or do you want the Gremory to die? As Vali said this, Issei fought less but had a smile on his face. Vali, I no longer care Rias Gremory, but however if you want me to fight as equal, I am already. My power now no longer need balance breaker for you, he said with a sadistic smile once again, which showed his evil dragon part, but the Vali had an idea. Well, if we're equals then show me your power, or that fallen will die, or may the blonde and others of her peerage. Vali said, Willer building a massive energy blast of dragon and Lucifer. However, he made one mistake, making Issei mad. As Issei heard those words, he was surrounded by red, black, and emerald aura as he roared like a dragon as his Yuma soul gear appeared as the voice of Drake and red rang out. Host of Albion, you made this mistake, be lucky to live through it. Boost X 10 from them both, so 20. As Issei built up dragon energy and his negative power used fallen energy from the Unigear as well as dragon. He lifted his left hand in the air as both powers merged. A cyclone of red, emerald, violet, and silver and black glowed throughout hell as Issei roared. You want my BESRVALI? Hear the power of a dragon god of domination and a negative soul of evil dragon and fallen angel who broke free from crimson chains and RISED up to creep behind his foe, making them feel fear as I now rise from behind the nightmare and roar with my blade. DRAGONS Fury, Issei yelled as his arms reached the fourth liberation of both gears, but the soul only to make his blade. Issei held in his arm has Drag boosted THS power into it, and he rushed Vali, who shocked at power before Lucifer could launch his blast. Issei sliced it 2-0, and he used his dragon wings with red and black with emerald spikes. Sorry for not telling you about his wings before. To slice Vali out of the balance breaker and knock him out. As Issei calmed himself, he heard clapping and turned to see Azalel and Sirzechs looking at Issei. Issei, I've been looking for you. Would mind if we talk about my sister? Sirzechs said with a sad tone as Issei then cheered him up. Zechs, it's not you'd fault and I will talk, but we need to talk about Kuroka because I have proof that she is clear of all charges and I would like to have a chess set if you don't mind. Both Azazel and Sirzechs were shocked by this. Issei changed so much in 2 days and asked for this. Clearly he grew up. Azazel. Yeah, Issei. Quite drooling over my new gear and sword. Issei yelled, liking his treasures and now feeling creeped by Azazel, who composed himself as Issei put his energy solid blade away. Back in Kyoto with Rias Gremory. Rias was furious about Issei leaving he team, and she felt like she was torn between anger and small love towards him and their forced marriage. As Rias was destroying Orc building, she only thought of the past. I don't care what name is, I think you're great. No one's hearting these ladies. SSS, sorry I failed. Damn it, I don't care you made Rias cry and trying make her marry you when she obviously hates that's something I can't stand. Ah, Rias yelled out in tears as she now knows she didn't hate Issei, she was jealous that they weren't together. Damn it, it's all Raynare's fault, yeah she made Issei like this and I'll kill her to get him back. As Rias stated her rage, she felt her arm change. She had a balance breaker arm similar Issei, with that she had a plan to force him to be hers once again by a fight. As she thought this, Gasper, who heard it all, left a note and left with no goodbye to his previous hero. He knew she was a fake. Dear anyone who reads this, Gasper am leaving the House of Gremory for now to visit Sirzechs ASAP and train to make Issei proud and no longer be a toy for Gremory, but be a man for my brother and my love who I save one day. With they, Gasper used to circle and left, and he was right. NWXD Grafia by chance in hell, but as Grafia took him to Sirzechs and Gasper told her everything, they both ran into someone special. Sorry Gasper, but Sirzechs should be. Wait, is that? Grafia said as they looked up and saw Issei and Sirzechs near the meeting home. As Gasper saw him, G ran and yelled, Issei. Issei turned to see Gasper, and the brothers hugged to Issei's shock, and he then broke the hug. Gasper, why are you here? Simple, to be strong and a man due to Gremory's new power. Gasper spoke with rage. What new power? Sirzechs asked Gasper, confused. A copy of Issei's balance breaker. All shocked obviously. Hello Q Academy. Here we take place in the meeting room with Azazel, Sirzechs, and Issei, with Raynare, Kai, Gasper, Kuroka, and Vali. So Issei, what is it you want to talk about? Sirzechs asked, interested that Issei had evidence with Kuroka's innocence. Well, first off, I have found evidence that her master was trying to make super devils and experiment on her. That shocked all in the room, even Kuroka. She never knew Issei found out the truth. Second, I would like me, Raynare, and Kai to go back to Qo and train. As you know, Kai is needing to fight Rias for his pieces, thus I purpose a 2-month wait for the fight, after Kyoto and before Serorg, so we will have time. Also, I would like to break off the marriage with Rias, as you know why. Issei says as he began to let out his power in order to show how he felt about Rias. I understand, however, Raynare will not be in the clear unless you have evidence for her as well. Sirzechs spoke, understanding everything but Raynare. First, she was my first love and honest, and second, Kakable forced her to kill me, thus she is in the clear, right, Azazel? Issei asked the Governor General, who only nods in agreement. Sigh, all right, but why do you want your evil pieces now? Sirzechs asked, confused, because he thought Issei was human with the gear, not dragon. Well, first, I am a dragon after I removed the pieces, however, thanks to Dryeg and Great Red, however, I still have my dream, but it has changed slightly. Issei says as he turns to look at Kai, Raynare, and Gasper. It's simple, I want to be a king to fight strong foes and beat Gremory and see my student's growth after he defeats Rias. Also, I made a deal with Asia and Zenovia, and I intend to keep it. Issei said with fire in his eyes, remembering how he would travel and take them with his as their king, but now he will be their king to cast away Rias. Ulrighi, and I guess you all are good to go, so I will call you when I have your pieces. Until then, enjoy school and I trust you to watch these two. Sirzechs says, motioning to Vali and Kuroka. No problem Sirzechs, sir, we love to write sensei. Kai says, stuttering as Issei looks at his student with a smirk. Looks like your dragon instincts are making you get the perfect mate, Issei said, making Kai go red and Raynare laugh. Shut up, Kai said as Sirzechs stood up, which made them look towards the Devil King. Alright, Kuroka will be in your room, Issei, as well as Vali, as you three go to Q Academy, as it is about 6 am in the human world, so you are good to go. Farewell, Issei, Sirzechs said as Issei opened a portal for the 6 of them. Goodbye, bro, and tell mom and the others I don't hate them after all. I only hate my parents and Rias because of their actions. Until then, farewell. As Issei said that, all of them left, and Sirzechs felt tears go down his face, knowing he had no guilt anymore. Pav Issei and the group at his house. A red circle was used to teleport the 6 to Issei's room. and as they got there Issei heard everyone eating dinner so he could do as he pleased as he looked at his room in disgust. Burn was all Issei spoke as he touched on of the perverted things in his room and snapped his fingers as they all turned to dust as everyone was shocked that he would do that to his lust but also how he did it, as the gear formed. Partner, what was that spell? Drake spoke to his partner shocked but happy. He got rid of his porn-based items. Well, Drake, I used a similar version of the dress break same amount of magic, but tracking based all I need to do his get hit or touch said thing and snap flame of 3 dragons burn it or cancel it. Issei spoke as he found a spell to cancel magic and power as long as he touched it within that battle. Sensei, incredible, what should you call it? Kai spoke overjoyed at the power and skill from the spell as he engored the thing it was casted on. First, it doesn't get rid of magic as long as you think it only does it for 5 minutes unless the person keeps trying to use magic. Then it puts strain on them and makes it last another 5. And as for a name, I am thinking Dragon Shatter. Issei said as he got up from the mess and told Sirzechs and Vali to stay here as the 3 left through Issei's rift spell to Sons, who was in the student council room currently. Pav Sona team. Here we see Sona SND Tsubaki working at the student council office as Saji punches the wall in anger due to him thinking Issei died not being told the whole truth. As Sona was about to stop him, a magic rift appears similar to that of Great Rip's rift through the gap, which Sona noticed in shock by who stepped out as well as the rest of Team Citri. Hey Sona-san, how have you all been? We haven't talked since Loki. As we see Issei, Kai and Raynare step out of the portal with Kai nearly falling out of it due to him not being used to those portals as Raynare helped him up. Also Gasper is with Rias for now so he can be undercover. Hyoudou, they all said in shock, and Saji seeing this cried and ran to Issei punching him in the face, which due to his dragon instincts Issei was able to catch even with his guard down. Saji, what was that for my guy? Issei wondered if Rias did something while he was gone. Why did you fake your death? Which set off alarms in the 3's heads. My sensei is no faker. That Gremory bitch lied so she could take advantage of you to Sona and Viteria due to her losing her dragon. Kai said in anger, causing Saji to calm down and Sona to jump out of her seat angered at Kai. And how do you know anything about Rias kid? Sona said with anger as her best friend was being insulted along with her pride. Because I am the 3rd house of destruction, and as Vitra can tell I am his nephew as well, Citri-san, so don't mock me, you foolish devil king's litter sister and over-judgmental bitch. Kai stated as his devil power was let out and he focused, and his gloves let out Tiamat's power around his devil, causing all to be shocked, even Issei now seeing that Kai's dragon pride let out Tiamat's power. Then Vitra appeared on Saji's arm. Well, I'll be damned, Tiamat didn't lie, you are her kid, huh? Looks like I owe Tannen $50, he said as Drake spoke from the gear after facepalming from what happened. Seems like this boy is power now, why are we here, partner? The dragon spoke as Kai then calmed his power, wanting to know the same as he didn't know where they were. Sona-san, is it possible for me, Raynare and Kai, to be class again? Raynare is my age, so my class is preferred, and her human name is Yuma. As for Kai, he is Kaniko's grade, maybe have her give him a tour. Issei said as he knew he had a few missions to do here before Kyoto. Alright, if that is what you wish, but I would like to know what happened. Sona says as she gets a headache and Tsubaki gives Kai and Raynare clothes and schedules. Then the 2 leave and teleport outside the gate as nobody saw the portal, and the 3 use magic to get the clothes change and their bags as they enter the building. Many girls she both Kai and Issei, many think both cute in different ways, Kai for his young nature, but kind soul, and Issei is stranger who looks hot and strong with the black hair and ponytail since his hair grew longer than his normal twin tail, and his veins that look more like a tattoo than anything, along with his muscles showing as guys hate both of them but are scared of Issei and confused girls like Kai. As for the guys who see Raynare/Yuma, they are entranced by her as her black hair and eyes are similar to Akino, but her kind smile and figure. Why are they so perverted? Seems almost better due to how she moves and acts. The girls also like her and see her as kind soul and a new queen of cute like Rias and Akino, but unlike the guys, the girls want to know her as a friend. Unfortunately, Issei meets that same day as they walk through the gate, but as Issei hid his aura, she did not recognize him. Thus the 3 go into the building. Bye sensei, bye Raynare Onechan, have fun. Kai says as he runs to his class with Raynare facepalming. I told him to calm me Yuma here, she says annoyed, which Issei finds cute as they both walk to their class. WHC already started. Issei and Yuma open the door to everyone's confusion. Hello, I didn't think we got new students today, the teacher spoke confused. Mia's Hanakawa, I changed that much in a day. It's me Issei Hyoudou, which give large amounts of spit takes and shock from everyone. Issei, you traitor. Hyoudou, how is the perv hot? What the fuck? As Issei just takes his seat ignoring the headache, he lets Yuma enter as the teach composed herself. Okay, everyone, here is the new student, come in miss. As Yuma comes in, all the guys roar at, and I quote, a hot chick, by God, why? Hello, my name is Yuma Amano, nice to meet you all, she says with a smile as the teacher tells they have two questions. How you pink hair? Hi, my name is Kades, do you have boyfriend? She asked as Issei blushed, which raised eyebrows. Yes, I do, my boyfriend is Issei Hyoudou. Which shocked everyone, and Kades asked, what the hell is wrong with he is a beast, a perv, and at that Issei stood up with rage. I am no longer a perv, I'm disgusted, am why all that you freaks ever heard of change, and if you think we aren't a couple then here. Issei says as he walks up to Yuma and kisses her, which she gives right back to the awe of all. Povkai, I can't deal with the perv duo. Okay, calm down, this is my first in human skull, be calm, Kai says as his teacher tells him to enter as he saw Kaneko high in the devil community, but as he saw Kaneko he felt his heart skip a beat, as the teacher tells him to introduce himself. Hello, my name is Kai Abaddon, nice to meet you all, he says as he bows. Okay, you can take a seat next to Kaneko. As he is told this, Kaneko raised her hand and Kai walked to his seat. As class went on, he talked to Kaneko. Hello, Kaneko, Issei and Kuroka say hi, and we found proof that she is safe. As Kaneko heard this, she turns to Kai and asked, how do you know, and who are you? Kaneko asked as she got close, which made Kai blush. I'm Kai Abaddon, the third house of destruction and son of Tiamat, as he showed her his gloves. Also, I am Issei's student, but it's okay because I'll protect you from any past, Kai says as Kaneko blushes by that because she for some reason started crushing on him, which she didn't understand, but she had a hunch. Pav after school in Orc building. Issei, Kai and Raynare walk in and see Rias with a smug look on her face as everyone else is normal. Hello, Issei, Raynare, how are you and kid? Rias says confused as she saw Kai WHC made him let out his aura. For FUCKS Sax, I'm no kid, I am Kai Abaddon, the third house of destruction and son Tiamat, now GRMORY, I can't have MY pieces unless I beat you, so I think you know about the fight, Kai says with rage as Rias was shocked but went back to her calm self. Yes, I know, boy, and we'll fight after Kyoto, but one condition, it's an exchange 2 versus my peerage, Rias said as she motioned to Raynare and Kai. Me, why me? Raynare said with a bitter tone, remembering when Rias killed her. Simple, Kai would win and get his pieces, but it's not fair 1 versus a whole team, she said as Issei spoke. You don't have pawns and only got 1 rook, so no half a team, Issei said with rage, which angered Rias. Anyways, if I win I get Issei back, and if you win you get anything you want. All were shocked, even Team Gremory, by actions and how far she wants Issei's power. I have an idea, Issei said as he summoned his gears. If Ray and Kai win, she takes half your destruction power with my help and keeps it because she might be part fallen, part dragon, but destruction is always good, right, bitch? Issei sighed, glaring at Rias as the 3 let out power, and Rias then stood tall with power covering her arm with a thin dragon claw. Deal, Issei, you will be mine again, she said with a sick look on her face as Kai turned to Kaneko as Issei and Rias shook hands. Hey Kaneko, Wowls, you like to go on a date tonight, Dragon Devil and Cat Devil, he said with a wink which shocked all but Issei and Raynare. Hell no, you, as Rias was gonna stop him, Issei slapped her dead on with his gear and boost X2, and it left a few streaks that were bleeding on her face as Kaneko walked up to Kai with a shy look. SS, sure, I love too, the Cat Devil said with a smile almost never seen on her face as Issei spoke. Well, love mates, I say, since I don't trust Scarface here, pointing at Rias. Me and Raynare go with you as a double date, he said with a smile which made it be set in stone. Double date in the forest. Here we are at Kuo Academy outside the old school building as Issei sits under the tree. He always does, as he felt Rias' oars burst with anger, which made him smile as he was waiting for the three. He heard a familiar voice. Issei-kun, I quite blonde former sister approaches Issei because for her she felt guiltily, and for him he felt like it has been years when really he didn't do anything like that because he knew he would heal wrong. Yes, Asia, Issei said as he opened his eyes and sit up from his spot by the tree where he got tackles by both Asia and Irina from behind, which honestly shocked him. They didn't do this before. We're sorry we didn't know your pain or the truth of your reincarnation when we just lived life normally after Loki PLZ. Forgive us, they said, sobbing as Issei put hands on their shoulders as he broke from the sob sandwich. Asia, Irina, I never felt sorrow or anger towards any of you. In fact, I wanted to ask you something, Asia, Issei said as he summoned a barrier around the three of them with a snap of his fingers. Both of you keep this quiet, please. First, as you know, I am stronger, thus it will make problems mainly with Offeyes as I sense her in the gap off. And on looking for something, maybe me and Vali, who knows. All I know is that I will be on my guard. Also, Asia, remember the promise we made? As soon as he said that, Asia cried, remembering how he would take her with him one day, as she nodded as confirmation. Well, how about being my bishop after I get my pieces, Issei said with warmth in his voice, as Asia felt her heart skip a beat. Same with Issei. What's going on, Dryig? Asked the confused God Emperor Nightmare. Well, dragons have more than one mate and connected and know the people who they love or loved the real besides charm, of course, and Asia is one of those people. For Irina is 50-50 due to you being my host, but also her old friend and crush. Dryig spoke with wisdom as Issei's old harem dream might come true. Issei, are you there? Hello, Issei, Irina asked, snapping Issei back to his senses, and he dispels THR barrier and makes sure they know to keep things secret. As the barrier disappears, Issei saw Raynare, Kaneko, and Kai rushing at him with a box in hand. This is important. Issei, are you ready to go? Raynare asks as she looks at Asia as she is afraid as she remembers Raynare killing her and lying, and Raynare remembers doing it. And she turns to Asia in her Raynare form, since only devils, dragons, and angels are left at Kuo Academy currently. As she transforms, she walks to Asia as the nun starts to cry, but before anyone could do anything, Raynare bows to Asia. I'm sorry, Asia, I did what I did because of Cockable and my ego, please forgive. Raynare said to the surprise of Issei and the others as Asia just leaves unsure how to feel about Raynare. Well, ready to go, Kaneko-chan, Kai says, making her blush and her cat ears show as she walks with Raynare to the gate. Yo, Kai, hold up, Issei spoke with a stern tone. Yes, sensei, Kai asked, confused. Well, first make sure Kaneko is well taken care of on the date, for example, holding the door for her, buying something she might want as a memento, you name it. However, remember we need to find both her hair clips to see which one has magic seals, got it? Issei spoke, making sure his student understood the meaning of a date and the mission. As the day went on, the four of them went off into town and enjoy their dates. So guys, what do you want to do for the double date? Raynare asked the three as Kai and Kaneko went red just being near each other, which she smirked at seeing little Kai grow up so fast until she looks at Issei with a big smile. How about we all go get something to eat and talk at a diner after that? I got a surprise for Kai and me along with you, Ray-chan, Issei say with a wink and a smirk, causing her to go as red as the first years behind, but then Kai runs up to Issei. Sensei, what about the movies you promised to watch? Batman, I know you remember because of the Scarface reference, Kai says as Issei then laughs, remembering that as they both are heading to the double date. Raynare takes the three shopping as her and Kaneko get new clothes, while Kai and Issei look around as Issei finds a red jacket with black lining and a silver dragon on the back, which he happily buys as he then waits for the girls. As for Kai, he found a blue shirt with a warrior in black armor and fire around him, which he felt called to, as he then saw as his red and black eye went blue for a split second. The coat was blue and black with what looked like dragon scales and no sleeves but yellowish-brown fur behind the collar, which he also bought, which made Issei lose more than he thought for clothes. But he is fine with it as he has great red and his treasures to make money along with Sirzechs and his favors. Nice look, Kai, love it. Issei said, liking his student's new look. It suited him to sum it up. Thanks, Issei, you look good too, but look what I got. Kai said, pulling something out of his pocket, and after seeing it, Issei had his mouth hanging open, which Kai shut, because Issei saw a necklace of a yin and yang black and white cats being together. To say Issei wasn't shocked about Kai being good at the dating thing is an understatement, as he is focusing on the date and mission at the same time. First, thanks, Guy, you're welcome, sensei, and second, that was a good pick for your goal, Issei says, making Kai go red. What goal? Don't lie, I know you're after both the cats. I think your dragon half loves Kuroka while your devil loves Kaneko, Issei said, making Kai go even more red and his left eye to go dragon blue. Boys, what are you talking about? The voice of Raynare asks as her and Kaneko get to the two dragons. Raynare is wearing a violet jacket and a black shirt with a red dragon head and silver angel feathers. Also, she is wearing white shorts and black high heels. As for Kaneko, she was wearing a black shirt and a white jacket with a cat hood, a silver skirt for her, a new but similar look, and last shoes with a white and black pattern. Both dragons were in awe by their beauty. The girls had to close the jaws for them because they were left hanging open. Thanks, both dragons said as their date smirked. Raynare walked close to Issei, giving him a kiss which shocked him, but he didn't mind. Kai and Kaneko just went to the door and held hands, which made them red but happy as Issei and Raynare caught up to them. Also, Kai, what's that box you keep holding? Issei asked Kai as he was holding a box since Q Academy. Oh yeah, thanks for reminding me, sensei. They are your evil pieces. I just forgot to give them to you. With that, Issei went cold and stopped moving as he let what he heard hit him. He just got his pieces. Kai hand it over plz. Issei yelled with joy like a kid getting a new toy because he finally become king and he could get dragon pieces. Partner, wait, I thought I inform you something about you since we removed the pieces. The voice of Drake spoke with serious tone. You have dragon power of evil Welsh and your own god power, but that is only 90% of you. Since you were a devil, you have 4% demonic power. Drake spoke as he informed his partner about his DNA and aura. Yes, young Issei, and you also have 4% fallen due to the negative energy in your girlfriend who was with you since the gear awoke. The voice of Great Red spoke about the Yuma gear and how it affected Issei. Also, you're 2% human in order to have both gear. But due to those 5 different powers, you're relatable to your peerage will be part dragon. But if they want to be devil or fallen or just dragon along with their DNA, they already have it as their choice due to your very being. Great Red said as Drake agreed with him, and Issei, shocked by how the pieces could change his peerage, understood. Issei then took out the king piece and accepted it as well, putting his power into all his pieces at the same time. But to everyone's shock, Issei had a set of all mutation pieces that were red and black with a hint of gold as well. So Issei, how do you feel? Kaneko asked as Issei calmed his aura and his pieces were glowing. I feel great, Kaneko, just let me put these in my pocket. Dimension real gick, Issei said as he opened a portal and put his evil pieces inside, as he then heard 3 large growls as he turned and saw Raynare, Kai, and Kaneko red with their heads down, making Issei laugh until grrrrhhh. A loud growl was heard from Issei's stomach as they all knew they were starving and went right to the diner. Issei ordered a cheeseburger with fires and Raynare ordered a chicken salad with ranch dressing. Kai ordered a steaker medium well and fries, and Kaneko ordered a cheeseburger burger and a larger ice cream sundae, which Kai never heard of before, so he ordered the same. They all scarfed it down as dragons /Nico do, and Kai loved the human world sweets, and Kaneko as they left shared chocolate with him, which she never does for anyone else. Ready to go, guys? Issei asked as he paid for the bill, meeting everyone outside. Hey Issei, why are you still doing the Appia dragon? Kai asked, making Issei go in a corner as he didn't want his student to know about his perverted past. Why me, why me, why me? Is all the red dragon emperor spoke as everyone just went silent. Hey Issei, let's forget about and go to wherever your surprise is, Raynare said, which made Issei sigh and get back up to open a rift to the familiar forest. Hey dumb, why are we here? Kaneko said as she walked towards Kai, but then he sparked his aura and his gloves started to glow. Well, later tonight is a full moon, so me and Kai can get our fa. Before Issei could finish, he was sent flying back by a blue dragon with hints of gold. Trihexa, how dare you come back here after you still have my treasure? Well, now you will know Choas. The mighty dragon we now know as Tiamat yelled as Kai went cold hearing that voice, which both girls noticed. Well, I don't know who you are, dragon, but you want to fight, then bring it on, Issei said as Trihexa facepalmed in the gear, knowing this will end badly for him and Issei. Issei rushes at Tiamat with Trihexa boosting 5 times. Not to underestimate a Dragon King, Tiamat launched a blue flame at Issei. In response, he fired a dragon shot to block it and use as smoke screen. Where are you, boy? I know you're not dead yet, Tiamat yelled as she searched for Issei, but Issei then jumped from behind him and grabbed her tail as Trihexa kept boosting and launched Tiamat into her cave. She tried using her wings to stop to impact, but Issei fired another dragon shot with a 10x boost so Tiamat couldn't block it, and as he launched it, Tiamat was sent with a crash into her cave. However, as Issei landed on the ground, he was hit by a large blast of blue fire. As the girls and Kai looked to see who shot it, they see Tiamat in her human form, which is a girl with blue hair in a Chun-Li type bun, and a blue dress with gold laces and gold and blue heels. You thought that could stop me, host of Drag? Then you're a bigger fool than him. She is referring to Trihexi's stupidity in the past, that why she said more stupid than him, Tiamat said with rage as Issei got up and out of the bushes that Tiamat launched him into. You're not to bad yourself, Tiamat, how about we keep this going, Issei said as Tiamat smirked and rushed at him, and he was about to enter his balance breaker until Mother stopped. They both stopped as they saw Kai with a red and a gold eye in his Hakaikaenoro form to be in the center of them. You can't be, Tiamat stuttered as Kai turned of his aura form to see his base with his eyes back to red and gold, with magic her veil of them. Crimson, is that you, my son? Tiamat yelled as she started to cry as everyone was shocked by the name she just said. Treasured son. Here we are back in the familiar forest as Kai, Raynare, Issei and Kaneko is shocked by the name Tiamat just yelled as soon as she saw Kai's eyes and hair. Excuses me, who the hell is Crimson? My name is Kai Abaddon, Kai said as Tiamat then shed a tear and smiled as walked close to him. I guess no one told you. Oh well, Crimson is your title and dragon name, while Kai is the name we gave you since you look like your father, Tiamat said as everyone was still confused. Okay, I guess story time then. Flashback 20 years ago. In the familiar forest, a devil with red hair, red and black eyes, and battle armor with a cloak searches for something in the forest until. Who dares enter my forest? A large blue dragon yells as she reveals herself. I am here for my own business, for a hunt, unless you know where a few devils went who got here a few days ago, the man says while turning to facing the dragon with power in his eyes. Oh, those idiots, I killed them for trying to steal my treasure, but if you want to try and get it yourself. The dragon then enters her human form while entering a fighting stance, which caught the eyes in her beauty but also her power. Then have at it, the female dragon says with joy in her voice as she tells that the man wants to fight. All right then, my lady, bring it, the man said as he took of the cloak to reveal his muscle and pure power of magic and physical strength. All right, bring it on, they both yelled as they rushed at each other, showing power of destruction and Choas clashing, and they both made a few crash in the mountains of the forest. And once the red-haired man jumped behind the dragon and kicked her into the water as she used her tail and grabbed his leg to drag him down with her. Splash bang was all that rang out in the forest. As we look in the shore of the forest, we see the two laying down on their backs, slowly getting up. Damn, you're strong, devil, I think I like you. The dragon female spoke as her hair was out of a bun and gone all the way done to her shoulders. I agree, well, time for me to show you my special form. Hakairo, The red-hairs man yells as his body was engulfed in red and silver energy. Armor was destroyed, so his skin was changed by the aura and formed into a red and silver color with whirlwind-like markings, and his hand were covered in destruction marks and calm but stern fire. "Oh my, looks like you're a fine warrior after all," the dragon said as the man suddenly rushed at her with speed she couldn't track. "As do I for you, my lady," the male said as he grabbed the dragon's hands with a power struggle, but as they let out their power the dragon lead into thr man's surprise, she kissed him as both their powers calmed and disappeared. "Well, that was a shock, but I am not complaining, miss," the man said. "Tiamat Choa's Karma Dragon, what's your name, handsome?" Tiamat said with a smirk on her face, thinking she found love in a battle mate. "My name is Kai Abaddon the First, and it's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Tiamat," Kai said with a smile. "I hope I meet you again," Kai says as he makes a magic circle to leave the forest. "Wait, what about your comrades?" Tiamat asked the devil she started to love. "I will tell them a wolf or boar from here killed them. I don't want to have a beautiful girl like you hurt unless we fight," Kai said with a smile, making Tiamat blush. "Damn it, this devil is like a perfect match for me. I want have some fun now," Tiamat thought with a mischief-like smile. "See you soon," Tiamat says as he leaves through a circle and Tiamat enters her cave. Over time, the two bonded and kept seeing each other and fighting in the forest. As their bond grew, they even talked about their past with each other. How Kai has trouble with his house and the old Satans fear him for the Abaddon destruction and physical potential. While Tiamat tells him how she once loved Drake, but when he lost her treasure, all she felt was rage, and she chose to hunt all of his host, and when not doing that, spend all her time in the forest alone. "So what do we do now, Kai?" Tiamat asked as she grew a close bond to Kai and she fought back her primal instincts. Lemon warning ahead. "Well, we have known each other for about a year now. How about we get closer?" Kai said as he went from sitting NY Tiamat to giving her a surprise kiss of passion as he leaned in closer, hugging her. Tiamat broke the kiss, stating, "Oh my, someone's a bore ready to charge. Well, I guess time not to hold back," Tiamat said as she pushed Kai to the ground, disrobing herself to reveal a huge pair of tits which caught the devil's eye as he then disrobed himself till they both were naked in the cave. "You ready, Tiamat? It's time to show you a real beast," Kai says, lowering his hand down to Tiamat's pussy as they make out and go wild once again. "Damn you, I am gonna show you Choa's in bed," Tiamat said as she was getting red from Kai, and Kai stopped playing with the dragons gave to reveal his wet hand. Before Tiamat threw him on his back, touching his leg and shaft. "This scar is from when we first met. Maybe both can be used to tease you," she said with a chuckle as she used her tail around Kai's shaft as Kai tried not to fight back as he enjoyed Tiamat teasing boy penis and body as he felt her tongue wrap around his blade. "I'm not gonna back down, HAKAIORO," Kai yelled as Tiamat also unleashed her fire and they started to fight totally naked. However, as she couldn't help but be distracted by both instinct and love, Kai took the advantage and kicked her to the ground as he finally took her by surprise. He then entered his blade into her cave as she landed on the ground. "Do it hard, you warrior," Tiamat said with a smile. Then Kai started going faster and faster, making her moan and cry out his name. Yes, yes, do it, I am gonna." "Me too, Tiamat, me too, my love." They both yelled as Kai came in her cave. Time skip 1 year. Note this is now 16 years in the past, so Kai is now gonna be born soon. "SHH, my little dragon, you will be born soon," Tiamat said with a smile, rubbing her belly as her unborn was strong. She knew it, as a portal opened. "Hello, my love, I thought I'd come and ask you something," Kai asked as he entered the forest, putting his hand on Tiamat's belly. "Would you like to marry me, Tiamat, and move in with me? Because I know this is your cave, but I thought I'd ask," Kai said as he showed Tiamat a red jewel ring which made her cry. "Where did you?" Tiamat said, crying, happy to be with her love. "I found part of your gem's treasure on the Welsh lands where it broke into 40 pieces. I have 2 and made a ring out of if you want it," Kai said, happy as can be. Before Tiamat could answer, she felt went as she looked down, she went into labor. Kai, help me out please, Tiamat said because she could do it herself, but she knew she need to put a seal on the kid's power. Okay, my love, push, Kai said as Tiamat roared, letting the boy's power surge out of her, and as she calmed down, she saw Kai with their new baby boy with devil and dragon seals to keep his dragon half safe. I do, my love, Tiamat said, which confused Kai. I will marry you, Tiamat said as Kai hugged her and WSS full of you, but as he was leaving through a circle Sith Tiamat and the baby and the rain started to pour, we saw Kai get blasted by POD and blue power. This was a one-time deal, White Dragon, a unknown man said as the White Dragon Emperor only was full of rage as he said one thing, yes, grandfather, as they both teleported away with Kai bleeding out in the rain, but he hid his son so he would be safe. Tiamat, please keep Kai's Ephephorus my, lo, before he could finish his last words he was gone and Tiamat only cried as she held her son and dead husband. With rage and sorrow as she put her dragon energy and broke 5% of his seals as the blue flame swore to keep him safe, and his eyes were red on the right and left was blue like both of them until his eye turned gold to be like his dad to keep him safe. Kai, thank you, my love, Tiamat said as she brought Kai to the house of Abaddon as the maid took care of him, and she brought the ring and body of Kai, dad, with her so she could put her love to rest and know her true treasure is safe as all she could do is cry. Back to the present. And that is what happened between me and him. I'm sorry, but we kept your dragon name and self secret for safety. You must hate me, Tiamat said only to be shocked by a hug from her son. Well, I am glad actually because I finally know everything because I am Crimson Kai Abaddon, a dragon king and devil king of my own. But PLZ, don't leave me again, mom, Kai said as the two cried and hugged, and we see Issei holding back tears but happy and Kaneko crying, being so happy for the guy she loves, and last but not least Raynare shed tears happy for her little brother in arms. Well, okay, that's enough guys, forget familiars, let's go home you two, Tiamat, Issei said, happy for Kai to be with his mom. Wait, Issei, what about Kuroka, Raynare said, which made Kai jump. That's right, Kaneko, I need a favor please, Kai said, which shocked Kaneko. Okay, name it, she said as Kai held his hand out. Please give me your hair, clip one of them as magic seals from your sister's master with all the experiments on it, Kai said as Issei then walked towards her. Hand it to me and I can tell with my gears, but I can teleport it to Ajuka and Sirzechs, Issei said with his old smile, making her feel calm just like she does with Kai. Here you go, she says, giving the clip to Issei, and he closes his eyes to sense magic seals on it as he sent it to Ajuka instantly. But when he opened his eyes, he was shocked by what he saw was Kaneko and Kai kissing and Tiamat's hand near his throat. I still don't fully trust you, Dryeg.